introduction. Thank you for joining us for the mental health segment. This month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We are joined with Rudy Hayek, a licensed marriage and family therapist. Thank you, Rudy, for joining us today.
So as a licensed marriage and family therapist, I see individuals, couples, families. I also work with small groups. And I also work in the community with some businesses to help with communication and relationships within the organization or the business. And I have my private practice in Old Town Monrovia, and I've been in practice since 2009.
For the employees and the employers, I know that communication and relationships is very important, and especially during this pandemic, what advice can you give to some employers?
So I think the main thing is to be in much more frequent communication with your employees. This is a time where connection is extremely important. It's vital to the emotional health of the organization, and how it trickles down to emotionally to the customers as well. So the better communication there is between management and employees, the better it is for the business, which will provide better service or products for the customer. So increased communication more frequently, maybe longer meetings, things like that, as opposed to shorter meetings. I think that's super, super important. People are going through a lot of emotional things in their own lives because of the lockdown. So, if employees can be more sensitive and caring to those situations, I think that's super important.
Right. And then also any tips for parents dealing with college-age kids or kids that live at home now and getting used to that lifestyle?
Well, for all of us, our outside life is now brought into our inside life. So we're all going through so many different adjustments at so many levels, emotionally and physically, like our spaces. We don't have a lot of privacy. We're sometimes get in each other's ways. Maybe laundry has doubled or tripled. So one of the things that I like to include in this is that just like I talked about with the employee-employer relationship, I think it's really important maybe once a week to have like a family meeting and get together and just give everybody a chance to just maybe vent. You know, everybody has like 1 minute to just say how they're feeling. Just because a lot of things accumulate during this time. So we've been in this now for several weeks, and we accumulate a lot of emotional stuff, from sadness to anger to frustration, feeling out of control, feeling controlled. We've lost a lot of our freedoms, things that used to bring us joy, interact with people. So, you know, when you're in a family, you know, maybe you have 2, 3, 4 kids, it's important to let them speak about what's going on inside them, whether it's through games or just giving everybody, like, put an egg timer on and say, okay, floor is yours. You know, give them back some sense of control. Things like that might be something people want to try.
That's great. I'll probably incorporate that tomorrow on our Friday night game night. Give my kids an opportunity.
That's a great, excellent. Yeah, that's a great idea. But make it a ritual, like a monthly meeting, family meeting. You know, have somebody be in charge. Okay, it doesn't matter how old they are. Just okay, you're in charge. Here's the egg timer, and you can call on people and just give people a sense of ownership and control.
And then I heard about ways that you are giving back. Can you elaborate on how you're giving back to the local community?
Sure. There are 2 ways that I'm giving back. One is, you know, I have a regular fee schedule that I charge for my services, and I've become much more flexible, and I'm sliding my scale to adjust to people's needs. I also have potential scholarships if people have lost their jobs, have been furloughed, there's a lot of uncertainty. I will provide my services for free for a certain amount of time. So I will work with you. And then, so the other one is just something kind of fun, but If you want to set up like a 15-minute session with me, it wouldn't be really therapy, but it'd be a way just for you to just kind of vent, just like the family meeting stuff. Um, so I can set up a time where you just email me and I'll work out a schedule with you. If you just want to spend 15 minutes and just to kind of talk about what's going on with you, I may be able to give you some tips, personal tips for you. So I'll be very happy to do that. So those are the two things that I'm doing.
Very nice. And then in closing, I would like just to ask kind of what you do for yourself, if it's kind of meditation or alone time or reading a paper, a book, something that you do on your own.
Well, I love music, so I've been kind of reorganizing my playlists and also dusting off a lot of my old music that I used to love to play when I drove to work. So I'm kind of cleaning that up and so getting them ready. So when I do have time to listen to playlists, I have them all refreshed. And speaking of music, I also play the guitar and piano, so I've been doing that a lot more. That's sort of my meditation. And just doing more walks around the neighborhood. I've gotten to really know our streets around here. So those are the things that I'm doing. I love my work, so my clients kind of keep me very on my toes, and sometimes they're very entertaining because now I see them video in their house, so I'll see all kinds of different things happening back there, and so I've become kind of closer to them in some way. So so that also gives me kind of grounds me and makes me feel not as anxious.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sharing about your services and about your practice in Monrovia. And hopefully this pandemic will end soon, or we'll start going back to some kind of normalcy. But
Yes.
Thank you very much for sharing your time with us today.
You're so welcome. It's totally my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.